Hi there, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Melissa Lemon and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'm not sure what. So I just felt like I needed to kind of get on and be led by the Spirit and what to say. So the only thing that really came up with this video was the word psychobabble and the show Frasier. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show Frasier, but that used to be one of my favorite shows. It's so funny. It's so ironic. All, these two doctors who are psychiatrists and how dysfunctional their lives can be at times, and all the psychobabble in that video. I love psychobabble. Psychobabble is just a word that means talking about psychology, and I love it because it's an admission that all this talk about psychology and our minds and it'd be interesting to know the etymology of that word, psychobabble. I'm sure it's a pop culture word, but I think if we looked up the word babble, and I'm thinking literally of like the Tower of Babel and things like, this is just my brain going on a tangent and trying to figure out what to say that could be helpful to people who struggle with anxiety. And I think, it's just a bunch of psychobabble sometimes. And I think that's the point, is that it can be difficult for people who have anxiety to feel understood, to be minimized and to be put in a box. I talked a little bit about this in diagnosis, but just to be had a label put on them, or to be a statistic, or to be a diagnosis. And I really think that separates us. I'm thinking of like the Tower of Babel and the confounding of languages. And, when we create a new language like psychobabble, it can create divisions among people. And so I think that's the point, is just we need to learn to talk about these things on a more human level. I think a level where more people can understand. I'm thinking of just like the idea of warmth. Talking about these things in warmth and love and compassion and understanding. And I hadn't planned to really talk on this in any of my videos, but this is coming up. If you don't know the history of psychiatric treatment in the world, I would encourage you to look that up. That has a history. That history is appalling, and it was very inhumane. Treatments were very inhumane. Experiments were very inhumane. And, I think part of that was because of psychobabble, this creation of all these terms that were just kind of separating people from the pack, and that confounding of language. Man, making this video is making me want to go do some research and write an essay about this. I think this is something that needs to be talked about, this separation of people by terms and phrases and class, really, the class of the normal versus the class of the abnormal. And it's just a bunch of psychobabble. And to me, what that means is that it's important for us to use normal, real, everyday words to talk about these things, rather than words like diagnosis, words like mental health, words like psychology and psychiatry, and words like abnormal psychology, words like abnormal, and all, saying obsessive compulsive disorder, words like disorder. We need to learn to talk about the human experience in a language that everybody can understand. And I think, we need to just do it in warmth. And another thing I want to mention is about statistics. Stats are great. I actually really love them. As far as a way to measure things, I do not love them as a way to measure people. I think they can be okay measuring experience, but I think when we're starting to measure people, I think we have to be careful. I do think it's important, and I think research and statistics are important. But when we're dealing with people, we have to be careful not to put people in a statistic, not to put individual people in a statistic. We need to love people, and all these things can kind of create gaps and in our society and create, and it's bigger than gap, can create ravines. I think it can sever relationships. I think it can do all kinds of damage to our human experience. And so I guess my video today, the message is maybe a call to tone down the psychobabble a little bit, and to start talking about these things on just a more human connection, instead of saying, what is your anxiety like for you? What is your life experience like for you? You know what I mean? What could you say to every single person? What is the way you can say it? And not to diminish the experience of having anxiety, but just to remember that we're all human. We're all here in this together, and we don't need to create language barriers. Language helps us understand things, but I think it can sometimes create barriers too. And using language that is more universal, I think, is important when it comes to healing and the process of healing. So that is my video today. Thank you for watching this Psychobabble, and we'll see you next time. Bye.